and most other movies would make $126.
$126. People don't want to attach themselves to Kevin Spacey these days.
It just goes to show that Hollywood is not ready for a gay actor.
Brunch. Hit it, boys.
It's Monday and people are pissed. Pete, are you ready for some bad news?
Yeah, I guess so.
This is like bad news.
All right. I'm bracing for it.
You've got a little like smirk upon your
I'm
dome.
intrigued.
Got a little smirk on your head that I need you to
Wiping it off.
to wipe off because this is serious stuff. Mercury is no longer in retrograde.
Ah, I did see that, man. I actually tweeted about that late last night while quite intoxicated.
What's your take?
I tweeted that
sadness, I imagine.
Yeah, well, I tweeted Mercury is no longer in retrograde, so I'm just going to go ahead and get out ahead of it and say I'm blaming that for all my emotional issues. And I guess I flipped it. When Mercury is in retrograde, that's when you're supposed to have the issues.
That's when things are out of whack. I had
wonky,
to look up what Mercury being in retrograde was because I was
White girls
I saw it,
love that shit.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I saw it on the TV, and someone I said it was on the news, and it was like, Mercury in retrograde. And this person was like, hey, so you see that Mercury's in retrograde? And I had no idea what that meant, so I just did we're all fucked. Because it was on the news, and I looked up what it meant. Yesterday, I looked up what it meant because there started to be some whispers like, hey, everybody, Mercury is no longer in retrograde. So I thought, thank God.
Bullet dodge.
Because, oh man, if on top of Trump, Mercury's also in retrograde, boy, are we fucked. And it's just a fucking horoscope thing?
Yeah.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
I'm pretty
I
sure
thought
that's
that it
what
was
it
like
is.
the grid is going down type of thing.
No, I think that it's. I'm still not sure what it is, but
Yeah.
I think that it's a
It's a horoscope.
moon thing or a horoscope
Oh my
thing.
God. Get the...
That's why I'm saying white girls love that shit because white girls love horoscope.
Oh, of all the fucking problems that the world could have, people are worried about their fucking the little fairy planet thing. Get the heck out of here. I thought that this was pieces of Mercury are breaking off and flying at the Earth. That's what I thought Mercury in retrograde meant.
Well, it's a little less important than that.
How does that make the news?
People love that shit, man. I don't get it. I guess it was it for a while? I'm assuming that it was.
It said it was
July
from April to July or something.
July
to August.
August 18th.
So what is that?
But that's it's a second time this year.
It happens. It said
yeah.
it happens 3 or 4 times a year.
Yeah.
I've never seen it on the news before. And
I don't
you
think I
would
have
think that years past would be where they'd be a little more starved for news.
You're
We're
right.
not starved for news these days. Shit is happening left and right. It's the old 24-hour news cycle.
Speaking of shit happening, Kevin Spacey's new movie didn't do so hot at the box office.
It didn't do shit. That's what's happening.
A career low, straight up $618. I think on the first night it made $126.
Yes.
Just $126 across, I think it was 15 theaters.
10. You
10
said
theaters?
Okay. You sent me the link, and the headline was Kevin Spacey movie opens to abysmal $126 opening day, and I was gonna text back dude, that's way better than I thought. Oh, $126.
Yes. And I guess somebody did the math, and I guess that's 14 people went to that movie.
Over 10, So
in 10 theaters.
Some theaters conceivably just didn't have
anyone.
I mean, it's misleading. When you see $126, you're like, oh man, but then you see it just didn't open anywhere.
Yeah, but it's still $126.
But
it could have opened in one theater, and most other movies would make $126.
$126. People don't want to attach themselves to Kevin Spacey these days.
It just goes to show that Hollywood is not ready for a gay actor.
Yep. That is, yep. Shame on all of you. I don't know if you guys saw. He was very, very brave, and
Just
He
these
said,
are,
"Look, you guys don't get it.
these are the sick times that we live in, where you just can't. A gay man can't lead a movie, and we're not ready yet.
Is he in the movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's him, the kid from Baby Driver, and Ansel Elgort, and the kid.
Isn't Joel Edgerton in it?
No, Taron Egerton.
Oh, is that, and that's
the Kingsman
kid
kid.
From Baby Driver?
No, Ansel
That's
Elgort.
Kingsman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
both of them. The kid from Baby Driver and the kid from Kingsman are in this.
Nice.
And it's Big Cat saw it, said that the story is crazy, but the movie sucks. So I think we're gonna have to see this movie. You said it.
Yeah, I wanted to.
Randy, our pal Randy Havens called it.
Is in it.
Yes, he's in it. He actually filmed Kevin Spacey's scenes, and then they CGI'd Kevin Spacey's face over Randy's body.
But it was while they were shooting Stranger Things, so they had to
CGI
Henry
the mustache.
Cavill
Yes.
the mustache out.
So I guess Randy called it shitty Wolf of Wall Street.
Did he see it?
No, I don't think so.
I was gonna say, for a movie that nobody saw, we're getting an awful lot of reviews.
Yeah, I know. So that happened, and poor Kevin Spacey.
Not the worst financial snafu that happened this weekend, though, because I spent I had a very heavy Touch Tunes Saturday, and I didn't realize until late in the evening that I was playing Touch Tunes songs at the wrong bar.
No way.
Yeah. I was at one bar and there was Touch Tunes, so I said, all right, let's do it. I was playing some King Push. I was doing everything. Everyone was having a blast. A lot of I let the dogs out.
Oh,
and
no.
this was at like a kind of murdery dive bar, one of my favorite spots.
my place.
And man, letting the dogs out was a wonderful move. It was
did you
so
actually
well
do it?
received. What? Let the dogs out?
This was after.
This was at the first bar. I put on some King Push. I let the dogs out. Everyone's singing along. Everyone's having a great time. I was pretty sure I was getting close to a for He's a Jolly Good Fellow scene because people were liking the music so much.
Rudy.
Then we Then we
whole
went to
bar
I was gonna
carrying
say
you.
or like any bar mitzvah.
Yes.
And then we went to another bar that had Touch Tunes, and I was like, let's keep this party going. Let's say we let the dogs out here as well. And it never came on. And so I start doing the I'll tell you this. I always now, I never do 2 credits on Touch Tunes. I always go 3. My requests are a little more immediate than the average person's. I don't want to wait around.
Okay.
I'm going to spend the extra credit
Gotcha.
to be next in line.
Do you buy in bulk when you buy credits? Like,
Oh, yeah.
what do you buy, like 30 or something?
I do. So there's 5, 10, right? Is there 5, 10, and 20?
Like dollars or credits wise?
Dollars.
Okay. And what do you do?
I do the middle one. I think I always go
Okay.
$10 at a time.
All right.
And I'm playing and playing and playing. Nothing's coming on. My friends are playing stuff. They're skipping me. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with this? And then I realized that I'd sent probably like $25 worth of Touch Tunes songs to the first bar, which was kind of
Sure, they were having a great time over there.
They were. I was like, oh, I mean, I've done that before, where you see that there's a bar nearby,
Yeah.
and you just fire up Touch Tunes and play some shit that you would not want to hear. I did years ago. I did Drop It Like It's Hot like 10 times in a row. This was before the John Mulaney bit, and then I couldn't tell people that story because everyone's like, "Oh, dude, I gotta say that John Mulaney bit is not that good.
It's not that
It's the
good.
most basic story in the world. Like it's." So I'm probably very guilty of this, but I always get douche chills when someone is very excited to tell you a story that you're like, that's not that cool of a story, and I'm wondering why you think that's such an impressive story. That's that Salt and Pepper Diner thing for me.
I mean, it's funny because it's John Mulaney, and he's got just good delivery and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but it's not
not
that
a-
crach of a story.
Yeah, it's not a very clever thing. Like,
Yeah.
if people are given the option to play any song as much as they want, or as much or little as they want, probably 1 in 10 people is going to be like, what if we just played one song over and over and over again and use it as a social experiment? So, I mean, going to dive bars, you save a lot of money, but if they have Touch Tunes, it really throws the financial savings way out of whack. We saw Crazy Rich Asians.
Yes, my big fat crazy Asian wedding.
That is exactly what it was.
It
was
yeah.
so my big fat Greek wedding. It was just a combination of my big fat Greek wedding and Meet the Parents.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
Essentially, with like entourage thrown in.
Yeah.
In terms of like just like richness out the wazoo.
Yeah, Jimmy O Yang's character was
A massive douche.
so he plays Jin Yang in Silicon Valley, which he said on these airwaves is actually a real character. Like, he's been that person before. He's been like the person who is still learning the language, speaking very slowly. It's something. It's probably. It's very, very heightened, but it's probably something of a relatable character for a lot of people. The character that he plays in this movie is just the biggest asshole clown douchebag possible. He's sitting on a fucking where do they have the bachelor party?
on a ship,
shipping container.
On like a
That would
literal
be-
like a carrier ship.
Yeah. He's just launching rockets
Yes.
off of it because that's how rich and ridiculous he is. But
He has a staff,
yes,
a pimp staff.
Yes,
And his character is absolutely ridiculous.
yeah. What did you think of Crazy Rich Asians?
I thought it was really good.
I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yes, yeah.
There was some like moments where you could press pause, and it's about a girl who goes to meet her boyfriend's family, and they're very rich, and he's very important, so a lot of people are judging her, and it's this big thing.
They are like the most important family in Singapore.
Yeah, and there are a few points at which the main character kind of loses herself, and it takes way too long for her friend Aquafina
Yes.
to kind of wake her up and be like, hey, you've been set up as this character. How come you aren't acting like this character at all?
Right. So that was I think that they overdid it a little bit in
Mm-hmm.
terms of playing up how like they made her dumb
Right.
when she got to meet the family, and like
Yeah.
this is a professor. She's a professor at NYU.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and like
It's
she's
how
clearly
fucking
very
jet-lagged
smart.
are you
Yeah.
that you've lost your brain?
Like the scene where she first gets to the grandmother's house, and she goes to drink the like hand wash bowl.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I mean, this is she's not rich. She's not stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that they played that up a little too much. I thought there were some pretty cheesy moments.
Yeah.
But overall, I agree that it was like a very fun movie.
There's a moment where there's like a big reveal, not a big reveal, but like a big kind of aha moment. His mother is very, very judgmental, and she hates her and makes no lie about it that like you'll never be good enough for my son, blah blah. This woman is she an economics professor?
Yeah.
And a lot of when they show her in class, it's a lot of like not risk management, but like probability, shit like that. And they have this face-to-face meeting later in the movie, and the whole time this mother is saying like, I dropped out of college. I went to start a family because family is what's important, blah, blah, blah. And they have this big face-off where they're playing that tile game. Mahjong.
Yeah.
And the main character could have the winning hand, but she puts the piece back, and then the mother takes it and wins and is very excited, and then the main character shows her that she let her win, and it's like, oh, this NYU professor is actually smarter than this woman who dropped out of college and has not paid any second towards either academia or street smarts. Oh my goodness. And I'm like, no, I thought that she was smarter than her.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's a case where like they just for some reason decided to make this woman dumb for half the movie,
Yeah.
and then at the end of the movie they were like, "But she's not dumb."
Yeah. Overall, I liked the movie. I think that it was too long, and I know where I would cut it. The middle of the movie, he goes off to a bachelor party, and she's hanging out with all these horrible women, and that's just way too long. And they use it to set up like the difficulties that exist just logistically with her possibly entering that family. But instead of making it like a 5-minute thing, they make it like a 25-minute
Yeah,
scene.
and they have like 3 different scenes where the other women on the bachelor party are very nasty to this girl. When that theoretically could have just been one scene.
When theoretically they could just put up like a blank screen that says a bunch of women spend a lot of time together and one of them is different from the rest of them. You can guess what happens.
Yes, and they don't like her.
Yeah,
that's pretty accurate. And what did you think of the wedding scene?
Well, one of my friends one time was saying, I'm just like wondering if I'm telling tales out of school here. Whatever. One of my friends one time was like super high and was like, I have this great idea for like, somehow we were talking about weddings. And he was like, what if like there was just like a lot of water and it was, and just like everyone's just like emerging from this water and like they're wet and it's water and everything. And like, I'm not doing it justice because as he was describing it to me, I was sober and he was high. I was like, yeah, it's the best fucking wedding idea I've ever heard in my life. So when I saw that, I was like, I think this is kind of that wedding that my buddy was describing.
I know. As soon as they started flooding the aisle, down to the in like the church or wherever it was, and just straight up flooded the aisle. And I was like, huh, are they gonna like drop a bridge on this thing?
Right. Well, couldn't you see? I also just imagine as they start flooding the aisle, like, when does Dwight do this? There's something happening in the office one time where, like, Dwight reaches for, like, a weapon when it's clearly something safe that's going on. I forget. Oh, it's when Andy comes in with the cast of Sweeney Todd.
Oh, okay,
and like they're all dancing around and they have blades and stuff and Dwight's like concerned and reaching for I could see them starting to flood the wedding and someone looking around like is somebody going to get us out of here? I thought overall it was kind of cool, although I had to look up, so I had a conspiracy theory. The girl was singing I Can't Help Falling in Love with You. That I thought that girl sounded exactly like, do you know who Lennon and Maisie are?
No.
They're the 2 Canadian sisters. They sang.
Do they do national anthems?
Yes,
yeah,
and someone
Calgary, I think it is.
No, like they're too big for that. But
Really?
like they did it at a playoff game one time.
Okay.
And
I know them.
everybody was like, "Oh, these girls suck," and I was like, "You motherfuckers think Adele is good, so shut the fuck up." They're really really good, and the person singing I Can't Help Falling in Love with You sounded exactly like, I think Lennon is the older sister. And I was like, holy shit, I have found
conspiracy
this
theory.
shit goes straight to the top. They covered up a white Canadian girl because they kept showing a girl singing it and it was Asian. And I looked it up after. I was like, did they have a Canadian girl record that and they covered it up with an Asian person? Because I think she would have been like the only white girl.
There's very few white people in this movie, and they all played service people, which I thought was kind of funny.
Good, yeah.
Like at the very beginning, they played the hotel clerks, and they were very nasty.
Oh,
and
God,
then,
they were so fucking mean.
Oh, yeah. And I think there was 1 or 2 white servers at the wedding. Like,
yeah. So I'm going to finish my point and then get back to that. So I looked it up. It was just someone who also has a voice that sounds like that. So no foul play. Everyone's safe. I don't want to come off as like this being a thing that triggers me because it's not a me thing.
okay.
And this goes maybe a bit against my like, hey everyone, just fucking breathe, relax, live a little. I think that the world can be done with the get a haircut talk. She in the class, she's playing a game of poker with this kid, and she beats him. And then she tosses a chip back to him, and she's like, "Here, use it for a haircut."
Yeah.
And everyone's like, imagine if someone fucking said that to like a girl or like,
Yeah.
that guy chose to have his hair the way he has it. And I can't even remember what his hair looked like. I don't know if he had it dyed or whatever. Just, hey, he's living his life. This is how he chooses to have his hair.
I think it was just like a shaggy haircut. It wasn't necessarily like a hideous haircut.
Yeah. We judge each other enough. Let's peel that back.
Hey, she's not a morals professor.
That's true.
She's an econ professor.
Yeah. They were all so, when everyone was being so mean to her, I was like,
yeah,
well, she was
she's
an
got it
asshole.
coming.
She was an asshole to that student. She's the professor, and she's bullying the children.
Yeah. That was a moment.
That was like a thing where it was just like a little throwaway thing, and there was like, she's like, hey, use it for a haircut, and everyone's like, and then like 16 minutes later, I kind of snapped out of dwelling on it. I'm like, wait, why are they in Singapore now? I thought this movie took place in New York.
Oh,
I'm
my
just looking
God.
at him like, you fucking asshole. That was a little throwaway thing.
Not to mention,
it's 1 second for you. It's the rest of that kid's fucking month.
Not to mention, she calls out that kid on his hair, and her best friend is Aquafina.
Yeah.
And she has a wild haircut in this. I think they call her the Asian Ellen.
Aquafina kills it.
She was
in this
so
movie.
fucking good.
This was the best comic relief role since Tiffany Haddish in Girls Trip. And if this is if Tiffany Haddish in Girls Trip is any indication,
Like if
we've got a lot of Aquafina coming up.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I would imagine so. Like this was definitely her coming out party. I think because she was so fucking funny in this movie.
Yeah, and I mean,
they kind of limited her screen time, which I like.
That's the move.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like because
Don't
overexpose her.
Yeah.
But like Tiffany Haddish in what's it called?
Girls Trip.
Girls Trip. She was one of the stars.
Yeah.
She was one of four, and she like had a quarter of the screen time basically. It was a lesser role for Aquafina in this, but she made every second count.
This movie didn't do a great job of like sticking with characters. Like
Yeah,
they would,
there's
they
just too
they
many,
would have
man.
main characters go away for. So this is about a girl who's meeting her boyfriend's family, and there would be like 25-minute stretches where you would only see maybe one total minute of the boyfriend.
Right.
He would keep going away, and that I kept getting distracted by that. Where like they'd be focusing on one character for so long, and I'd be like, this isn't like an anthology thing. This is a whole fucking cast. Come on, where the fuck are these people?
Yeah, but the movie's not about him. There wasn't much in the way of development for his character.
But it would also go like 10 minutes without the main character.
Yeah, I mean, there was just so many characters in this movie that they had to cut somewhere.
Yeah, it was.
There was I definitely did not need the storyline of what's the relation there? Maybe his sister or his cousin or something, where her husband cheats on her.
Yeah.
And like that was definitely kind of an unnecessary storyline.
I think they definitely needed that, but
Really?
they just didn't do it right.
It was done very weird.
They were doing that to set up here's what her life would be if she did it, because he has a relative who had somebody, Armenians, we call them Odars, had married an Odar, and an Odar, for those non-Armenian listeners, is a non-Armenian.
Okay.
So, like, my sister is married to an Odar, and he went from being a guy where everyone's like, oh, hey man, you're a cool guy, and now it's like, hey, the Odar's here.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, like once it becomes like a real thing, once you're like really in the family, it's like that's
when the
thing
shit
about
starts.
You are not. No, it's not like a mean thing, but
Okay.
it's like, hey, hi, non-Armenian person.
Okay.
Even though we never sit around being like, hey, Armenian person.
Okay.
Anyway, so she's like an Odar to these people because she's American, and he's got a relative who married someone who wasn't from a rich family.
Wasn't rich, yeah.
Yeah.
He was like a military person.
basically await you.
Okay, because like his whole deal was that he didn't feel good enough,
Right.
for the family and stuff like that.
So
But,
he
like,
cheats on her so he can feel something, which I feel like that might be where a lot of cheating comes from. That makes me so fucking sad.
I mean, yeah, but also like the way that they did it in this movie, the reveal scene where she tells him like, "I know you're cheating." It was the weirdest scene in the world. They were on their way to a wedding,
Yeah.
and he immediately turned it on her, and somehow she was a bad person for that. He was like, "Well, if you didn't make me feel like I didn't belong, I wouldn't need to cheat on you." And she was like, "Oh no."
No, he says he's like, "Why?" She said, "I know that you're cheating on me. We'll talk about this later." He's like, "You know that I'm cheating on you, and you don't like you're not
mad?
freaking out
Yeah.
about it. Like, what the hell is like?" He's like, "This is case in point. Why you don't fucking care about me?" And I'm not defending this guy, but I'm like, yeah, why isn't she fucking mad? She just took like a very business like
Yeah.
approach to the whole thing.
And she was like the perfect wife.
Well, she was just like trying to keep everything very clean, very above board, very like into appearance and
Keeping
stuff.
up appearances, yeah.
And I mean, seemingly, I guess so is he if he's staying in the marriage instead of just getting like this guy's a fuck like the
Like their whole marriage is
coward
keeping
to
up
end all
appearances.
cowards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like he got up until the last scene, the resolution for that storyline, he got away with like the easiest case of cheating ever. Like
Yeah.
he didn't get in trouble at all until the final scene. So
I agree with you that
it was just done really
that
strange.
storyline sucked. Yeah. But they did need to have some sort of thing that could present their future relationship. This movie was very, very beloved. It's 92 on Rotten Tomatoes. I would say
Seems a bit high.
yeah, but I would like just barely.
Yeah.
I would say
88. for me.
yeah, right. I would say like high B plus. My issues with it are very small. Length really is the biggest thing for me. This easily could have been a 90-minute movie, and it was over 2 hours.
Yeah, but it was only like 2 hours and I think it was like 2 hours 2 minutes.
That's
something
32
like that.
minutes too long.
I don't see this as a 90-minute movie. Maybe an hour 45, maybe an hour 50. I didn't really have that much of a problem with the length of it. I was having a good time.
They could have lopped off so much of it. They didn't do enough with the. There's another relative that he has who's like the bigger guy.
Which one? The asshole?
No,
No. The
They're
his
like the
best friend,
super like nice guy.
the guy who's getting married.
No. He had like awesome posture. I don't know if he was gay.
sure he's
know,
not?
like the guy he had like a British accent.
Oh, the stylist?
Like the fashion guy.
Yeah, that guy was awesome.
Yeah. They didn't do enough with him.
Yeah, him, and I would love to see like a spin-off of him and Aquafina,
Yes.
just starring in their own movie.
That was the best part of the movie when Aquafina and him team up and
Yes,
give
yeah.
her a makeover.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which they didn't really spend much time on that. It was just they had one scene and they were like, all right, let's do this, and then the next scene they were there.
Ken Jeong was great as well.
Oh yes.
Yeah. It was a very good movie. It had a lot of fat on it that I thought could have easily been cut.
Wow, that's quite rude to Ken Jeong, calling him fat.
Yes. Well, I was going to say, so this is like you start to tweet it and then you're like,
Is
nope.
this okay?
This would mean something else. I was going to say my biggest problem with it is it's 2018 and it's a movie called Crazy Rich Asians. But then I realized like, mentally ill rich Asians sounds a million times worse. So
Yep.
cannot do that.
They really should have just went with my big fat crazy Asian wedding.
Right, because you don't know if they're saying like crazy rich, and once you see the movie, in
I think it's
context,
crazy rich.
It's
Yeah.
crazy rich because Aquafina says like, "Hey, these people are crazy rich."
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, you don't know if it's crazy rich or crazy rich Asians.
Yes.
Yeah. So title length,
Or it could just be crazy rich Asians.
crazy Asians rich. Title could use some work. Length could use some work. Other than that, very good. The guy, the main guy, I thought was very attractive.
Yes, very hunky.
But terrible teeth.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't notice that.
I didn't notice it till like halfway through the movie. There's a scene with him and the mother, and there's a lot of close-ups on the face, and I was like, "Ugh! You tricked me."
I didn't. Really didn't notice. So, and I spent a lot of time looking at guys. So
Yeah.
it couldn't have been that bad.
There were 99% of the guys in this movie looked amazing. 99% of the people in this movie looked amazing.
Like if we were
They
doing
did not
how did
cast-
everyone look?
Yeah.
it would have been great.
This was like a Victoria's Secret fashion show. Everyone was gorgeous.
Yeah, and like they were dressed very well.
Yes.
And so like if we were doing how did everybody look? Boom, would have crushed it. No, this dude's teeth aren't that bad.
His two front teeth, yes,
There's
they
a
are.
little space.
No, they're like they look like they're caved in. You must be so I think it's an angle thing. It must be what's the guy's name?
Henry Golding.
Henry. Oh man, he's really covering it up here. He knows he's doing optimal angles, which is a thing in the movie.
I see it now. I mean, if that's what we're picking at, everything else has got to be great because that's just not that big of a detractor.
I think that we're looking at different faces here or something, man.
No way. He's an attractive dude. They did
He
do a
is.
scene.
He's super attractive. He's got a great body, great face. Just his teeth are messed up.
I mean, his body's fine. They did do a scene in the movie where he was like shirtless and got out of bed, and they played up the ooh rawr, and it was like, yeah. He's got an average like body. He maintains his body, but I wouldn't say he's like a fucking like muscular.
Yeah, no, he's got like a Tom Brady body, and I think it's his brother. Somebody else is sitting in the bed at one point with no shirt, and they've got it going on.
Oh yeah.
This guy, so go back and see the movie because this guy has basically scrubbed the internet and made sure that I've seen a few pictures that show the teeth, but come on. This one looks photoshopped. He photoshopped his teeth.
Hey man, we all edit our photos. It's okay. If we're talking about movies with questionable titles, by the way, there is essentially a sequel to.
I'm fucking edit my photos, man.
Yeah, you do.
What, like filters?
Yeah.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, it counts.
Do you use Facetune?
Facetune? What's that?
That's an app you can use it to like whiten teeth and fix blemishes and stuff before you post it on.
Not so much anymore, but when I had acne, I would
touch them up?
Yeah, touch them up a little bit.
Okay.
I was very self-conscious of my acne back in the pre-Accutane days.
You should get an app that puts some acne on your face to humble you a little bit then.
Yeah. I'll think about it. Speaking of movies with questionable titles, how about that sequel to What Women Want?
Yeah.
And they just went for it and called it What Men Want.
Yes.
Not exactly it's sort of a questionable play to release a movie called What Men Want in 2018.
Not a questionable play to reboot a Mel Gibson movie and start by getting rid of Mel Gibson.
Yes, good play.
All right, so we take Mel Gibson, get him out of there, and then do anything else. Chris Witowski's in that.
Yes. Who's starring it? Taraj?
I think it's Taraji P. Henson. Let me see.
Sure is.
Taraji P. Henson. Who else is in it? Ooh, Aldous Hodge.
Who's that?
That's Voodoo Tatum.
Ooh, okay. Tracy Morgan?
Yep, Tracy Morgan.
Oh, Max Greenfield is like the
Yes.
the lead male role, I think.
Yeah, but Chris Witowski is. Oh God, Pete Davidson's in it.
Oh, we need to talk about Pete Davidson.
It didn't take much. I'm out on Pete Davidson. I always kept it to myself that Pete Davidson isn't that funny.
Yeah, we've had this discussion.
Yeah.
Like we like him because he's likable, and I think that he's taken a turn into not likable territory where it's just like, shut up, dude, and go away.
Right, like it's one thing if you're not great at your job and that's the only reason anybody knows you, but just he and Ariana Grande, I've just started listening to the new Ariana Grande album, and every song I've heard, or most songs I've heard, are very, very good.
Yeah, I've heard this album's pretty good, but I haven't invested any time in it.
It's got some real heaters. The one with Nicki Minaj is great. The song "Breathin'" is fantastic.
I did listen to that one. You told me to listen to that, and that's good.
Yes, yeah. So there's some good stuff there. There's a song on it called Pete Davidson, and it's just like, no.
Did you listen to it?
Yeah, it was like an interlude.
Okay.
It's just like a 45-second
I did see somebody tweeted at her and said, "How long is Pete Davidson?" And they were talking about the and then they followed up. They were like the interlude, not the boyfriend.
penis?
Yes,
Yeah.
and she responded, 10 inches. Oops, I mean 45 seconds. And I was like,
You only last
do
45
less.
seconds. Huh?
Yes. Do less.
Not great. Yeah, it sucks. Like I want Pete Davidson and Ariana Grande to go away, but I want Ariana Grande to then come back.
You want
And then just like leave Pete Davidson.
you want a
there.
separation of church and state?
Yes.
Like you want Ariana Grande musically,
Mm-hmm.
and just go away on the other stuff.
leave. Can you leave romance out of this, Ariana? What? Please. This is
a weird place to be in, because I'm pretty sure if we pull receipts at the beginning of this podcast, you were very not in on Ariana Grande. You trashed her.
I'm not an Ariana Grande fan.
Okay,
I think that she's Ariana Grande is
but when she came out with
the modern woman John Mayer, where people don't necessarily like her, but but they know that she's mega talented, and will always say like, "Hey, you want to go see Ariana Grande?" No, not really, but she's a great singer. I totally get that she's got a great voice and she's very, very talented. That's when everybody used to make fun of John Mayer, they'd be like, "Oh, he's so lame," but very good guitarist.
Yeah. I believe, if I'm recalling correctly, that like "Dangerous Woman" was the first time I was like, "Okay, she's got it."
That was the first
does
song
it for me.
I knew she sang.
Really?
That and than
what
Bang
about
Bang
the,
Song.
Bang Bang Song? Is that the one with the fucking trumpets?
No, Bang Bang Song is Bang Bang Into Your Room.
Bang, 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 bang,
Bang,
bang,
bang, up
bang.
to the
I
moon.
nailed it right there. Just crushed it.
Not to be confused with Bing Bang by Borat. You know that song? No, I think it's called Bang Bang, actually.
Oh, God. Not to be confused with the Bang Bang that we did in Atlanta, where we ate 2 meals back to back.
Not to be confused with Get This Boy a Flight.
Okay.
One last thing. The nun jump scare has been taken out of the like short thing that comes up before YouTube videos.
The trailer for trailers?
Yes.
Which
yeah.
I don't know why that exists.
I
don't
know
know when that started happening. I don't need a trailer for my trailer.
I know. That jump scare is the worst. I fucking hate it so much. And when it was coming up on YouTube, I was waiting for the skip thing so I could do it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Which normally I just kind of let it. I'll let these.
You
things
seem like
go
a
an
let
extra
it
few
ride
seconds.
guy.
Yeah, just be like, yeah. What do we got? Okay, all right. Now I'm going to leave you and go to my video, but thank you very much. Have a great day.
I can just see you like getting confronted with an ad, and you just sit back, and you can skip it, and you're just
Be like, all right, you
know
got
what?
20 seconds.
This might as well fucking happen.
Yeah. So
Go for it.
The Nun preview was showing before Crazy Rich Asians because of
Why
fucking
not?
course it
Because
is.
it's playing before everything.
Right. So they're showing it, and the girl is in the hall, and the jump scare is about to happen. So I start doing like I've got something in my eye, and I close my eyes, and I'm rubbing my face, and this is in a packed theater, so I got people on both sides of me, and it's like, all right, rub my eyes. I thought it was going to happen by now.
Did it happen?
Did it? You know what? Maybe they cut it out of this one. Boom! Bah! And then as soon as I took my... It was the fucking worst. And I was like, you motherfucker! You got me again! Fucking nun!
I've been hitting the movies hard recently, so I'm to the point where it doesn't get me
You're
anymore.
desensitized?
But it took 4 or 5 times, honestly, where
Yeah.
I knew it was coming, still fucking got me.
That is the
And
worst jump scare.
At this point, I sort of welcome it because I'm desensitized to it, and I get to enjoy the reactions of everybody else in the theater when it happens. Because a lot of these people, they don't go to the movies so much. This is their first time being exposed to the Nun trailer.
Yeah.
And holy smokes, if you get some older people in the trailer or in the theater while this thing goes off. Old people, let it be known that they are
Everybody
not thrilled.
should.
That
Everybody
they are not
should.
thrilled
That's
with the
not
jump
fucking
scare.
cool. Like I'm not kidding. You shouldn't be able to put that in a theater full of people who did not sign up for that.
Right.
Like I'll start a fucking
you should
petition,
fake
or
a
if
heart
somebody
attack.
else starts a. I don't need to. This is gonna fucking kill somebody.